Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Accelerator. I am your host, Michael Conniff. I'm also the CEO of Murray Lane Ventures. You can, of course, find the Accelerator podcast on all the major platforms. Please like us and subscribe and share with your friends. We're a podcast for entrepreneurs, founders, startups, but also the angels, VCs, family offices, and investment firms that have great interest in them and usually some kind of equity in them often. And very happy today to be joined by Daniel Rajnoch, who is the CEO and founder of InvestBay, coming to us live from Prague, Czechoslovakia. Is that right? Do I have all that right?
Yeah, you have it right. We are Czech Republic because we split into two countries from Czechoslovakia to Czech and Slovak Republic, but we are still close to each other.
There is Slovakia and the Czech Republic, two different countries now. So today is a big day for Daniel and for InvestBay. I think it's fair to call you a fintech company of a sort. And tell us why today is such a big day.
Yeah, because today, after a few months, what we were preparation, we will launch our product this night. How we are just recording this session, my friend, it's set up everything done, and he will most probably buy the first token on our platform, which is connected to real estate tokenization platform. And tomorrow we like to share this with our friends and families, and as we say, with the fools. And we want to introduce the platform on the market very soon to wider audience. That's why it's a big day for us.
So we're very happy to have the breaking news that you're going live today, planning on going live, and then friends and family tomorrow, and then into the marketplace not too long after that. So the first thing I want you to describe as succinctly, as precisely as you can, what is InvestBay and what are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, the InvestBay, it's basically our project is combined from three main pillars, but the main things what we want to achieve, we want to give our clients the possibility to wisely use their resources which they generate through the salaries, through the investment from another investment, and we want to give them the possibility not to put the money in the bank accounts and leave it there, because the money on the bank accounts will erode and losing the value every time by the inflation and so on. We want to give them the opportunity to invest them. But the question is why they are leaving the money on the bank accounts, because they want to have it immediate access whenever they need it. Our intention to give them to give them possibility invest in the same time, have a money accessible instantly through the payment card, and it means that the investment in some part will be as a collateral for the money which they will use it through the payment cards. And as I say, we have three key pillars of our entire project, which is a tokenization platform for real estate, might be different real assets. Then we have a payment part, which is connected to MasterCard, which we are doing with them. And then we have a lending platform, which is connected all three parts together. And we are happy that we can put on the market the first part just today, as I already mentioned.
I want to get into all of that in a second, but I think your background is so interesting. Because I think for 15 years you ran essentially a restaurant, a bar kind of operation in Prague. Is that right?
Yeah, it's definitely right. I found it the most popular bar and nightclub in Prague, and I was running for 15 years. The club calls Solidní nejistota, and it was one really hot place in a nightlife. And even the Václav Havel, as a president, used to come to our place a few times, or Kevin Costner, when he'd been in Prague, he visited us as well. It means that whenever you want to join and make a fun in the night, dance, have a few drinks, usually you come to us for 15 years.
Yeah, that's great. Now, why did you sell the restaurant?
Yeah, I sell it. It,
And why did you sell it? Why did you want to get out of that business in the first place?
the gastronomy business as itself, it's really hard. And it
Sure.
wasn't our first connection to the gastronomy business. When I was really young, 12 years, my father became a director of a hotel. And I spent my childhood on a hotel in nice mountains, Beskedy. It's the opposite side of the Czech Republic. We can snow skiing there, and that was perfect. But you have to be always in a restaurant or in a hotel to take care about the guest, and you are solving every day the small micromanagement problems. Somebody doesn't like the soup, or it's too cold, they need to change the place, and I'm more the person who want to see what's new in the world, to see traveling around the world. And in a gastronomy business, it's not possible to do. And I was also looking for technology possibilities, how to
For,
change it, my
for
life.
those who are confused about the gastro business, we refer to it as food, the food business. But
Yeah.
and I had an uncle. My uncle Emmett ran hotels his whole life, and we were convinced he did that because he always had a piano in the lobby, and he loved to play the piano. So wherever he managed a hotel, he got to play every night. So we think that's why he did it. But these are tough businesses, and that's kind of my point here. When you and when you become an entrepreneur, you're in the real world. When you run a restaurant, and you are an entrepreneur when you own a restaurant for sure, or a bar, you're also in the real world. So what did you learn in the real world of running a restaurant and bar that you've applied to being an entrepreneur?
The first things, because we were such a successful and famous in the Czech Republic. Yeah, we were many guests who usually don't meet on the street. Usually the singers and actors and this presidents. Shimon Peres even come from Israel, come to our place,
Wow.
and you don't care with these people. You see that these people are usually normal people. Even if they are really clever, you can speak to them really openly. They are really kind. You are not you have to be afraid of it. And this is what I took from it. You can speak to anybody. You doesn't have to be afraid to anyone, because the people thinking the same way. Yeah, and that's why it makes me possibility to connect. Maybe when we start our conversation before, this was also I. You are obviously you are afraid what you will say, but it's not that it's not afraidness, I would say. Yeah, the scariness, like to be really
Right. And to
shy.
talking, so a lot of being an entrepreneur, I think is what you're saying is that a lot of being an entrepreneur is, talking to people who maybe have more money than you, who might be more famous than you, who are angels or VCs or investors, actors like Ashton Kutcher, who might be involved in helping your company. So, as a restaurant owner, I think what you're saying in part is that you learn to talk to all kinds of people, including very important people, right?
Yes, yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. This
So,
is
yeah, go ahead.
no. This is approach what I took from it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
and
that's something. Now I know you didn't jump right into InvestBay. What was your next business after the restaurant?
yeah. After the restaurant, we found your past business. It's a company who creating the content for mobile wallets. You know it best from when you are traveling by the plane. You have in these days not too much people printed out boarding passes, and you can store it in your wallet. And it means that we have a technology which can provide for our business partners to creation of these passes for mobile wallet. For example, we have global contract with AXA, or we supporting the MasterCard, Unica, and another this type of company. And this was also really nice. And we're still running this business with the friends, with co-founders, and it's still great, and
It's
and
still going. Yeah. What is that business
it's
called
still
again?
your path.
Your pass. Okay. So that was your next business. So what inspired you to start InvestBay?
It was the it's inspired me really, the thinking about the technology and about the key elements and the parts what I have it from my father from childhood. He always say, if you want to invest money, you should invest in real estate. That was part of it. Then we were connected to gastronomy business. That's why we are now orienting in vacation properties. Yeah. And then I see that there is a possibility to fractionalize and tokenize and really the new technology which is coming to the market. And I was always thinking how to give people possibility to invest is in same asset class, specifically in the real estate, even if they doesn't have any money, you know. And imagine the situation that you receive the salary, and on the end of the month, you have in your wallet just 500 euros. Usually, you won't be investing. You will be thinking, I will put on the bank account and so on. And this is we want to really give the people possibility to invest in real estate, you know, and that's why we create the first part, the investment platform of InvestBay, because it gives possibility nearly anybody to invest in real estate in the same way how they will do it when they are buying entire property. Yeah, only they are buying the fractional pieces from 500 euros, and they doesn't have any hassle with it. We are choosing that property, we are operating this property, and we are distributing the proceeds with them, you know, and they doesn't have to care, you know, about people who are living there or renting the properties. They doesn't have to care about if the electricity is cut. We are taking all the responsibilities from them, and this
So
is
yeah, I want to excuse me. I wanted to point out a couple things just for people who aren't familiar entirely with fractional real estate. So fractional real estate is when you buy part of a property. You actually are an owner, but it's of a percentage, not 100%, but less than 100% of the property. And that is pretty well established in the U.S. It's been, it's been a little bit of a tough sell here at times, a very tough sell, but it sometimes gets associated with the time sharing industry, which has really had a hard time. But I want to focus on the other part of it, the tokenization. Um, so I think this is the new wrinkle. Others are doing this. Some people are doing this in the U.S. What does the tokenization, and when you say tokenization, you're now talking blockchain and probably crypto as well, right? So what does the tokenization, what kind of tokenization is there, and why is that an important piece of what you're doing?
mhm. Basically say we are as soon as we are buying the property and we are creating the small pieces by 500 euros, we are records in distributed ledger technology, which is a key technology behind it. We are putting in a Polygon specifically, and we are creating, let's say, 400 pieces of tokens. These tokens are are recorded in a blockchain, and you can easily sell them and evidence that you, if you want to sell it, there is evidence that you own it, and you can rewrite against the money which you send to the seller. Yeah, this is first part why we want to build on a token. From another point of view, we say that we are blockchain minimalist. We doesn't want to show too much the technology to our retail investors, because we want to leave the technology behind the wall. Like, for example, you doesn't need to know that cloud services like AWS, the company using it. It doesn't help you anyhow. But everybody are knowing that already are the company who using the cloud services, and we want to be the same, using the technology itself because we like the technology, and and the rest, it's fiat currencies, and we don't use cryptocurrencies.
You don't.
Yeah, we don't. We use really fiat when you pay and when you receive the proceeds from an investment. There is also two more parameters where we are
Yep.
using the blockchain. Second one is we are able to sell it on exchanges, the tokens exchanges, and we see that in Europe becoming the real estate exchanges where then we can put these tokens and can be tradable by itself. Yeah. And the last one, it's you can collateralize this token against the money which we will later on borrow through the payment card. Yeah,
So
that was the last one.
you can collateralize it against the value of the real estate that you hold as a fractional owner. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, is that
Okay.
right?
Okay. So that means, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that means that the value of the tokens can increase or fall, dramatically based on whatever happens on the exchange, right? So you have a token on an exchange. It can go up, it can go down. You can sell it, you can hang on to it, you can do sort of all the things that we associated with holdings on exchanges. Is that right?
Yeah, it's perfect, right? And we want to that the value of the tokens are directly connected to the property because we think from our deep thinking that it's really fair to the investors when they have a connection to the property and they have a connection of a performance of the property because we see the property as a small factories. Yeah, it means that there is a connection. The we charge the rent, yeah, which we are collecting, and also there is a growth of a value over the time. If you have a bond, for example, it's always fixed interest. Doesn't matter if it's the situation good or bad, but might happen the situation which just happened now in a few countries across the Europe that the bonds which has a fixed interest can't be pay out because the company doesn't create so much value and they have to make new round of a bonds afterwards. And I think that in this case it's more fair to connect it to the value of a property because we distributed the earnings equally. Depends on how many tokens you have. This is our philosophy behind it.
This is probably the wrong way to say it, but it is like the securitization of that real estate with the blockchain. You're kind of not technically a security, but it's negotiable tender. You can buy it, you can sell it.
Uh,
So if I sell my token, if I'm a fractional owner and I sell my tokens, does that the same thing as selling my real estate, or do I still retain ownership?
No, we if you own the tokens and you are buying with us, you can sell it on secondary market, which we have either on our platform or the whitelisted exchanges. Yeah, what we say, and we think that in the future there won't be any sales of entire buildings like it's in these days. These properties which are generating revenue over the time and which will be tokenized because it's like with a factory. You don't expect that if you hold one share of Apple and you want to sell it, that the entire Apple will be sold as well. But in our case, we everybody expect that if I want to sell the property, entire property has to sell. No, because of a blockchain technology and the fractionalization, we can working the similarly with a property.
I'm wondering if so. I'm still a little confused. So I can still sell the token, but still hold on to the fractional ownership of the property. Is that right?
No, no,
No,
the tokens
they're tied together.
that the tokens represent the rights against the property. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Now, Daniel, there's something else you're doing at InvestBay that I think is very interesting. But I'm going to be honest with you, I don't completely understand it. We've talked about it before, and it's this: you're doing something very innovative, as far as I can tell, with Mastercard and with the card you're using.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm going to tell you what I understand about it. Then I want you to really explain it. So here's what I understand. it's a different kind of card, um, because it's for a couple of reasons. One is that it's connected to the investment, the real estate, right? So it's a
Yes.
card that's connected to the real estate, but it's also a card that's not exactly a credit card and not exactly a debit card. Maybe it's parts of both. So can you explain that whole piece? Because you have put together two innovative things. One is the tokenization of the blockchain, the tokenization of the real estate market, which others are trying. I sort of get that, but I don't fully understand how the card plays into all this. So can you explain that for us?
Yeah, definitely. Happy to do. Um, Basically, first, I have to say that related to card, there was a decision how to fulfill our dream, right? Give the possibility uh, to invest, and then in the same time have access to instant access to my money, yeah, which was invested already. And we see that it has to be hassle free, and that's why we are using the Mastercard as a partner for creating this card, which will have access to three the balance will be combined from three parts. First will be the rent, which we will generate on that property, and which you invest from that property which you invest. Second one, whenever we sell the property, you can also withdraw the money, or you can use the card as a way for your money. And the last part, which was you mentioned that is interesting, we are working on the possibility to borrow the money against your investment in that property. It means that you buy tokens for 1,000 euros, and you can use your credit card in the value of, let's say, 500 or 800, depends on the property, depends on time on the market, and we evaluate in a instant time how much you can basically borrow. But we doesn't want to say borrow, because with a borrow you have to sign the papers and you have to do all the hassles. Banks is usually scoring you, but because we know what's the value behind it in a fractional pieces of the property, we know how much money we can lend to the customers through the payment card. Basically, ideal scenario, it's that you invest 1,000 euros, you are going to the holiday, and you spend easy 500 euros on the boat. After you come back, you can pay back as a normal credit card, and then your investment continue in a normal way, how you won't losing your position. Yeah, the
This
investment.
sounds like a new. Um, each one of those things individually may not be new, but to put that all in one card seems new. Do you know any other examples of that at the moment?
We know about different approaches. Some people are building the cards which is backed by gold, for example, but with the gold you have to sell it. Yeah, the same. There are some cards which are backed by cryptocurrency or bitcoins. Yeah, but you definitely have to sell it, the bitcoins or the cryptocurrency, because it's so volatile that you don't know what will be the value next day. It's
Sure,
just like
sure.
this. And real assets like real estate, it's more stable. It usually doesn't inflate too much or
Yeah.
volatile so much. Yeah.
So you have access to the capital, effectively the capital you've invested with the real estate as collateral.
Yes.
You can also take out a loan, it sounds like, with the real estate as collateral. And you can also use it essentially as a debit card to sort of spend it. Is
Yes.
one easy way to look at that. Okay, so that's all very interesting, all very innovative. You're launching as we speak, literally as we speak. You're launching today. But tell me about your team, because I think your team has something. This is an interesting look into the company, and I say that because I know that one of your team members is, for example, comes from the vacation industry. So you see the real vacation real estate as being important, right?
Yeah, we are basically four founders. Yeah, beside me, we have Andrew Thompson, who is our real estate guy. He is really professional. He used to work 25 years for Cushman Wakefield, for Colliers, and for this type of companies. Another key PO, it's a Jiří Brich. Jiří used to work as a technology. He launched for Edenred, Apple Pay on the Czech Republic. He was in a company who is owned by Secret Escape as a product manager. And we have also Lukáš Přikryl, who is our marketing guy, who used to work in this financial institution as a marketing person. And we were able to build also around us interesting group of people, advisory board, let's say like this, who are helping us with a specific task what we have. Like we are cooperating with former CEO of Mastercard Czech Republic, Miroslav Lukáš. He used to also work for a while in New York on the headquarters. Now he is working here in a bank in the Czech Republic, and he runs the FinTech Association in the Czech Republic. Yeah, for example, this man, it's really helpful. Then we have a owner of Tatum Blockchain Tatum company, Jiří Kobelka. It's a company who is really famous in the blockchain world. And I'm really happy that we can say that we are cooperating also, for example, with Richard Keary, who used to be, or who is CEO of HSBC Bank in the Czech Republic. Yeah, these people can help us because they are really senior guys, professionals, and we have like 20 of these people to helping us to put our business on track and do it right. You know.
And you have so you have five founders.
We have four founders.
Four. Okay, so that's a lot of founders, isn't it?
I think that it's exactly enough how we should be, and they really help me. Yeah,
Yeah.
they really help me from the start. I have, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any evidence that people will want to buy real estate this way?
Yeah, we have a really good information for market. We did the research on our side to be sure that we are going to the right we are doing the right offer. We also have let's say 50, 60 people around us who wants to be the first one who will buy it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we also know from another companies who do similar business, but I mean similar in the meaning of a retail investors. They say that there is some group of people who wants to do it, and I think that we are not only for people who just left 500 euros on the end of the month in their pocket, but I think that we will be really valuable also for people who usually buy one flat and this is their investment. For example, we can give them the possibility to spread out their diversification across the Europe, because we will concentrate also on vacation spots like Malaga in Spain, Austria Alps, Italy Alps, also something in Czech Republic. And these people can, instead of investing only one flat, they can invest in 10 flats in different areas, and it makes diversification of their portfolio.
Yeah, I was going to say diversification. Yeah. I want to remind everyone you've been listening to The Accelerator. Excuse me. That's a podcast. I'm Michael Conniff, your host. We are aimed at entrepreneurs, founders, and startups, and the angels, VCs, family offices, and investment firms who worry about the care and feeding of those businesses. Have been joined today by Daniel Rajnoch. He's the CEO and one of the co-founders of InvestBay, which is a very interesting, intricate startup that combines tokenization of real estate, fractional real estate, with some very new twists integrating capabilities into a MasterCard in this case, and I'm sure there'll be other cards coming down the line. Today is the day they launch. So very nice of you, Daniel, to take the time to be with us today. Really grateful for your time and your flexibility, and we wish you the best of luck. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much for invitation, and I was really proud to be here, and thank you for great
proud
discussion.
to have you, and we admire and respect what you've done your whole career now with your third company. So best of luck. And I want to remind our listeners that they should definitely stay tuned because we'll be back with another podcast before you know it.